Okay, Ms. Kirby, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, this gentleman, Douglas Kirby, he stopped paying child support about a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Danny, he's 8 now. I want to know what is going on, and I want to know when he's gonna stop paying child support, please.
Okay. So how long has it been since he paid child support?
He paid for 3 years.
Okay.
And it's been 2 years since I haven't received anything.
Okay, 2 years, okay. And you said the child is 8?
Yes.
8 years, okay. All right, Mr. Kirby, is there a reason why you have not paid child support in 2 years?
Correct, Your Honor. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis about 3 years ago, and
Okay.
over the period of 8 months, it actually got really bad, and so I have not been able to really. I'm unemployed at the moment. I have not been able to work. I do, however, I receive disability and Social Security, and I've got the paperwork here if you need to see that.
Well, I have a copy of it up here with you, what was turned in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I see award letters. He does receive Social Security and disability.
Well, first of all, I think he's lying. Second of all, he can work with minimal duties.
Well, what do you
still
think
pay
he's
child-
lying about? You think he's lying about the disability? You think he's lying about the award letters that I'm looking at because they look like official documents from the state?
Okay, ma'am, it's like this. This guy is not good. Once we got married 9 years ago, I took care of him. Doesn't have a job. I made him to go back to college. I made him to get a degree. He's got a good job in IT. Okay, as soon as he got the job, okay, I don't want to be married anymore. Really? All right, you have a good job. Pay child support. Then, okay, he was paying $1,000 a month. Now I'm $1,000 a month short for 2 years.
Okay, I understand that, but you understand that he has a legitimate excuse for not paying anything, right? I understand it may be frustrating, but you do understand that, right?
He cannot work in IT. He cannot just push the buttons.
Well, if
not
he
like-
has something from a doctor saying that he cannot work. Until he gets something that actually releases him to work or he stops receiving benefits from the state, we really can't order him to pay any child support.
I think what he wants to do, he just wants to stay home, sleep until noon, whatever, then go out there, play guitar or whatever it is that he was doing before we got married. He just doesn't want any responsibilities. And I think he needs a reevaluation on his medical exam.
Okay, well, you definitely can pay for that if you want to do a reevaluation or anything like that, but he can't give you what he does not have. So I can't modify his child support or anything like that to make him pay you any more money. I just can't do that, not when he has a legitimate reason not to be doing it.
Can you order him to pay health insurance? Because I'm paying $300 right now for the health insurance for the child.
Is that for the child only or is that
Yes,
for
ma'am,
you?
for the child only.
Okay, like I said, until he, gets some sort of clearance, some sort of W-2 paycheck stub that says he's making around the amount that he was making, I mean, you really can't do anything at this point.
Okay, fine. Even if though he receives less money now, but he still can pay child support out of that amount, right?
Well, he can pay, it's taken out of the lesser amount, but not from his Social Security benefit. It's not going to be taken out of that.
So there's nothing I can do about it.
Not at this point, unfortunately. Do you know when, well, you probably don't know, has the doctor said anything about you being released back to work full-time or anything like that?
Nothing at the moment. It's not something I'm against. You know, I was making good money doing IT, and you know, she's right. She did push me to, you know, go back to college and get my degree, and it worked out for quite a bit. I even set some money aside for college for Danny, but it's just at the moment I can't. And like I said, you know, over 8 months it just kept getting worse. There's small signs of it getting slightly better, but you know, it's really bad right now. I can't stare at screens. The numbers get blurred within it. At the moment, I do apologize. But it's not something I can do. I would love to. You know, I love our son as much as you do, but I mean, right now, if we're being honest, you make decent. You know, you make a decent amount annually.
I believe he's sincere. I believe he's being very sincere about what he's saying.
When I can contribute, if I'm cleared, I'm more than willing to do it, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It's always something. It's always some kind of excuses, Your Honor.
Well, the good thing is that if and when that time comes and he's able to make even more money, right? You understand that your child support can go up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Correct.
So in the event that happens, you can get an increase, but just nothing for today. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Okay. Miss or Mrs.?
Ms.
Miss Berkeley, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Your Honor, I'm here to get custody of my grandchild and also to make my or soon-to-be ex-son-in-law to pay the child support. My daughter was diagnosed with lymphoma, and Your Honor, it was a long and difficult process, as you can imagine, and he wasn't up for it, and he left. And so I went and helped my daughter and helped my granddaughter through this process. And they had been legally separated. He was paying child support, but when my daughter did pass away, I checked into the account. I had access to her financial business, and I checked the account, and he was not putting the payment in there. So I am looking for the back payments that are due, and I am looking to get custody of my granddaughter.
Okay, so let me just make sure I'm clear. Your daughter is deceased now.
Yes, ma'am.
And my condolences.
Thank you.
You're pretty much trying to step into the shoes of your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I understand.
I think it would be far more appropriate for me to be raising the daughter than for him.
Okay, why do you believe it would be more appropriate?
He has a lifestyle that I don't necessarily think is best for raising children.
Okay, well, I guess I'll get that from him. Mr. Alberts?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's going on?
Some of those details are correct.
Which ones are not correct?
The fact that I bailed on my wife, our marriage was over a long time before that diagnosis, and we mutually agreed that I would pay child support, that I would support her financially, and I did until she died. And now there's no one to pay child support to, and I don't know why she's dragging me in here, trying to take my kids away from me, talking about my lifestyle, saying I didn't love my wife. Ask her, Your
What
Honor.
lifestyle is she talking about?
I don't know. Ask her, Your Honor. I really don't know.
What lifestyle?
Well, he spends a lot of times in bars.
Okay.
A lot of time in bars. He spends a lot of money on babysitting because he spends a lot of time in bars.
Okay. Going to the bar is legal.
True, But who's going to be there to help with homework? Who's going to be there to hear the sad story of how she was bullied in class that day? A babysitter? I don't think so.
So are you always at the bar and leaving the baby with a babysitter?
No, Your Honor. Anytime
How would she know that?
Maybe because I call every night to say goodnight to my granddaughter,
Okay.
and it's the babysitter that picks up the phone.
Okay, so you don't necessarily know whether he's there or not, right?
Well, why would there be a babysitter there if he's there?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying, you don't necessarily know if he's present or not. You just know that the babysitter picks up, right?
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
technically, yes.
Okay, well then technically you don't really know what he's doing unless you are actually at the bar with him. Or you have someone spying on him, which is completely wrong. But that really has nothing to do with why we're here today. His child support should have stopped because there is no one to pay the child support to. Your granddaughter lived with your daughter, right? At
Yes.
the time of her death? Right, so you can't step into the shoes of your daughter. The
But-
only other living parent is dad.
True, but Dad was not around for the last 2 years. I was.
Right, but the child now has been living with dad since your daughter passed away, right?
Yes.
And when did your daughter pass away?
About a year ago.
Yeah, your rights are not superior over his in this particular case. There wouldn't be. There's no reason why he should be paying child support to you. I mean, you had access to the account that the money was going into because of your daughter. But now that she's deceased, there's no one to pay the child support to. So he should not be paying child support anymore. So he did the right thing. You just may not agree with it, but
I do not agree with it, Your Honor.
why do you need the money?
I don't need the money. I need to make sure that my granddaughter is getting everything that she deserves.
But how would you know that if she lives with him? Now, if she lived with you, that would be valid. But if she lives with him, you can't necessarily speculate and say what he is or he isn't doing.
Well, I know what my granddaughter tells me.
Well, we're not going to go into that because children aren't very honest all the time. And how old is this child?
6.
Yeah, they have a very big imagination. So, I can't do anything about that. He should not be paying child support. And I'm assuming you cover the child on health insurance?
Yes, Your Honor.
The only thing I can order, pretty much is that he maintains that child support, the medical support on the child, but other than that, and that's through your employer,
Yes.
that's all that he can be ordered to do. I'm not going to make him pay child support for a child that belongs to him and that lives in his house.
Fine.
Okay. Is there anything further from you?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from you?
What if the child wants to come live with me?
Well, she's 6 and you're not her parent. So she does not get to make that call. Now, dad starts doing something, like if it's actually proven that he's being neglectful and going to bars or anything like that, and the child ends up living with you, then yeah, but you're not the parent. So unfortunately, I can't do anything about that.
Right.
Okay. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Okay. Mr. Cooper, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I brought this case to court because I'd like to put myself on child support. I'd like to see my kids more often.
So you're putting yourself on child support to see your kids more often?
Yes, Amanda Johnson, my ex, has made it difficult lately for me to see my kids. I thought that if I was on child support, it might be easier to have some kind of scheduled time that I can actually see my children.
Okay. When you say she's been making it difficult lately, what types of things has she been doing?
She's been rescheduling when I come to pick them up. She's said that she's too busy and that I can't hang out with them on the weekends. She's just generally made it tough for me to see my kids.
Okay. Why have you made it tough for him to see his kids?
Your Honor, my ex-boyfriend has a new girlfriend and I do not like her. I do not like her being around my children. I think she's a terrible influence on my kids. And I know that if I give them more time with him, it's going to be with him and her. And I do not approve of that whatsoever.
Okay, so you're mad because he doesn't want to be with you and moved on? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm mad because he has only been dating this woman for 3 months. Now suddenly they're engaged. I think she's a terrible person and I don't want my children to be around her. This is about the well-being of my children.
This is about the well-being of your children, but you don't like her. Do you even know her?
I have met her one
It's
time.
a yes or a no. Have you even met her before?
Technically, yes, I have met her before.
Okay, so you met her one time.
I know people who are friends with her. I've seen her
You know,
on
I'm not
social
going to do
media.
this tap dancing back and forth with you. You're going to answer my question when it's very direct. So you've met her one time.
Yes, ma'am.
And based on that one time of meeting her, you believe she's a bad influence on your children.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that today. He should not have to come to court to place himself on child support in order to see his kids, especially when it's for a reason that has nothing to do with them. He's in a new relationship. Obviously, you're mad, and you're just mad because he is in that new relationship, not with you. And because you're mad, you're trying to hold it against him with his kids.
Oh, no, that has nothing to do
That's
with
not how
it.
it works. Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. I mean, that's what it sounds like, right?
That's what it
I
sounds
don't
like,
want
Your
him
Honor.
back.
Yep.
I don't want to be with him at all.
No, you don't want him back. You just don't want him to be with anyone else.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what it sounds like. And you can roll your eyes and everything. You know, that doesn't bother me one bit because I can do it too. So, we're going to go ahead and start child support today. You are going to allow him to see the children. It's not a what if, I don't like her, she's a bad influence. It has nothing to do with that. You're going to allow him to see his children. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. And you understand that you're going to be paying child support, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, how much money do you make a year?
$48,000.
$48,000. And how old are the children?
12 and 14.
12 and 14. And who covers health insurance for the children?
We have Medicaid, Your Honor.
Okay. So just so you all are aware, Medicaid is not health insurance. It's a benefit provided through the state, you know, to assist with the children going to the doctor and the hospital if needed or anything like that. So that, because it is from a state agency, you are going to have to pay it back to them, okay?
Okay.
And it's going to be included in your monthly obligation for child support. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. So I have your gross at $4,000 a month, which brings your net to $3,050.01. So your child support obligation is $762.50. In addition to the Medicaid. So what happens is I have to take 9% of your gross, and that's the amount that you would pay back for Medicaid. That's what the law says has to be done. So 9% of $4,000 gives me $360. So when you add the two together, comes out to $1,122.50 a month. Now, if you were to enroll the children into private health insurance, which I'm sure you can find something a lot cheaper than $360, your child support amount would go down.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the option to do that. If you have private insurance through your employer, or if you want to enroll the children under something outside of your employer, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, all right. Do you all have any other questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Miss Ghost, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we have a 1-year-old daughter named Alexis Ray. We're not together anymore. We were married for 2 years. We divorced because I like women. And so I want to put him on child support. He don't do nothing for his little girl. So that's basically.
Okay. So you all divorced, have a 1-year-old,
Yes, ma'am.
and you want him to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Sir, what do you have to say about that?
Your Honor, I don't have a problem paying child support. You know, But she did leave me for somebody else. She cheated on me throughout our relationship and things like that.
That's another court that has nothing to do with me. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. I only make $16 an hour, ma'am, as a warehouse supervisor. So it's really hard to make the ends meet. So I don't know how much I can give. It's expensive to live where we live.
Well, according to the documents you provided, you made $18 an hour, not 16.
Oh.
Oh. So
He's
you
also
don't
a
know how
liar,
much you
Your
made?
Honor.
No, ma'am. I was mistaken. I apologize.
Oh, okay. But you get a check every month, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all made the perfect couple. You're the liar, she's the cheater.
Well, that's semantics right there. That's the particulars. He lied. I didn't cheat on him.
Okay, well, we already established that he lies. I mean,
Oh, yeah, see, I told you he was a liar.
Well, I mean, you didn't even have to tell me that. He
You knew
told
that,
me.
right?
I don't know how you do
So,
it every
you know,
single time.
What are you?
What I don't need you all to do is address each other. You all
Yes,
will
ma'am.
address me. There's obviously a reason that you're no longer married. Okay?
Because he's a cheater.
No, because you guys were the perfect storm is why you guys are not married anymore. Now, in terms of health care, who pays it for this child?
He pays it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
She's on his Medicaid.
Okay, so wait a minute. The child lives with you, but
Yes, ma'am.
and the child is on Medicaid.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you paying Medicaid yet, or you haven't started paying them?
Yes, ma'am. I am paying for the child's health care right now.
Okay, so you guys understand that Medicaid is not health insurance, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is health. It's not health insurance per se in terms of a private carrier, but for the child, that particular service is through the state of Texas. So that money does have to be repaid to the state. You're not paying health insurance to her. You understand that, right? Or you didn't understand?
I
'Cause you're looking real
understand.
confused.
I understand that now, ma'am.
You understand it now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand that Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state, and you're going to have to start paying child support at $18 an hour. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You looked real depressed just then. I mean, did I say something wrong?
No, ma'am. I just know how much it's going to hurt, ma'am. That's all.
Know how much is what is going to hurt you.
The child support hit.
And you do understand that, Mom, are you working?
No, ma'am.
Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
I mean, I just don't work.
You don't want to work, but you think that he is solely responsible for taking care of your 1-year-old?
Well, she lives with me, so I take
excuse me,
care.
I was talking, thanks. If she does live with you, yes, she does live with you, and he will be obligated to pay child support because of that. But you also need to be working too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you gonna come back in here next time with some proof of looking for a job?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I will, and I'm currently pregnant again. So we might
Your
need to
Honor,
put
that is not my child.
Oh, that was my next question, but
I ain't touched her in like almost a year.
okay, that is good information to know.
Wouldn't
That
touch her
has
either.
nothing to do with this because a child that is not born is not a child within existence at this moment. So therefore, child support can be determined anyway.
We'll be
Now,
back, though.
You'll be back for
We'll be
that
back.
child. Okay, well, when you return, we will discuss
somebody
that
else.
child.
With you. We'll be back with you.
Well, sir, just make sure you know. I just want you to know that you do have the right to get a DNA test.
Oh, really?
Yes, you have a right to get a DNA test on that child that she's pregnant with, just to make sure if she does bring you back, that if it's not your child, you won't be placed on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand
But
that?
it's your child, so don't worry about that.
Ma'am, I don't need you addressing him, okay? And as of right now, we don't know whose child it is. When I say we, I'm speaking about the court. We don't know whose child it is because you're currently pregnant. He hasn't had an opportunity to do a DNA test, okay?
You get pregnant from another girl.
All right. Sir, I do not need that extra sidebar over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, so based on $18 an hour, what is your work week? And truthfully, how many hours do you work a week?
Roughly 60 hours a week, ma'am.
Okay, you told the truth about that. I just have to verify everything that you say from now on. So
I'm
$18 an hour at 60 hours per week. That brings your gross to about $2,160. Your net of $1,903.58. Now, in terms of health insurance, at another time, you do have the right to get some sort of health insurance plan for your child. However, for today, you're going to have to reimburse that money to Medicaid. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to take 9% of your gross, that $2,160 amount. 9% of that is $194.40. Now, if you are able to find some health insurance that's cheaper than that, that would be great. You have the right to do that. And when that does happen, you can come back to court and we can make the change, okay? But as of today, that's the number. Then you're going to pay, your child support obligation is $380.72. But mom, sir, asked that you pay back pay since the day that the child was born. You know what that means, right?
No, ma'am.
So pretty much that $380 amount, you're going to be responsible for paying that for the past 12 months. Yeah. You're looking real confused right now. That's the
Not
law.
confused, concerned, ma'am. That's
Yes.
all.
Well, okay, so up until this point, you have not been giving her any type of financial support for your child. Isn't that correct? It's a yes or no.
I have, ma'am, but I can't prove it because it's always been cash. I've always.
So the answer is no,
Yes, ma'am.
because if you've given her cash, that's a gift, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So the back pay that she requested for the past 12 months would bring your back pay, is also known as retroactive child support, $6,600, okay? And I'm going to make that payable at $100 per month. So your new child support obligation is going to be $480.72 a month. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you all have any further questions or anything? Any concerns you want to bring to the attention of the court?
No, ma'am.
Anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mrs. Scott, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am just really tired of my husband not doing things that he should be doing, such as spending quality time with me and our 17-year-old daughter.
Okay.
He's just not coming up to par, and frankly, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right. So you all have a 17-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And you're tired of him not spending quality time with you and your daughter.
That's right.
I can totally understand that. Now, what does that have to do with me?
Well, I want a divorce.
You want a divorce because of that? You want to put him
Well-
on child support because of that?
Yes, obviously. I mean, he is the provider of our home, and absolutely, I want child support.
He's the provider of your home and you just want to get rid of him like that?
I just feel
Because
like,
you're being petty and in your feelings?
well, I feel like we've just grown apart, and I'm just tired of him not making me happy. He doesn't take me out. We don't do fun things anymore. And frankly, I'm bored.
Oh, okay. Mr. Scott, why are you boring this woman to death over here?
I'm not really sure why I'm here.
Honestly, I'm not sure why you're here either. It sounds like she's just in her feelings right now because you're not spending time with her and your 17-year-old daughter. And you know, that's not what court is for. We don't just place people on child support because we're in our feelings.
I recently retired. I'm tired. I worked 50 years and
Where did you retire from?
from the military.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
This man is tired. That's why he probably doesn't want to spend quality time all the time. Can you give him a break?
Well,
And sir, can you spend some more time with your 17-year-old daughter?
When she's home, I'm more than willing to do that. But she's 17 years old.
Right.
I mean, she has a life, friends, a phone, and I'm available.
I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that. Mrs. Scott, let's not be petty. Don't do that. There is no reason to come to court and divorce this man, place him on child support, especially if you say he's a provider. He seems like he's a good man, retired military. He takes care of you, obviously. You look beautiful. So I don't think this is the right route that you need to go. Most people that come in this court get put on child support because they either deserve to be put on it or they were doing something they didn't have any business doing when it comes down to not taking care of their kids. So I just wouldn't want to put this man on child support just because, like I said, you're in your feelings.
Your Honor, I really don't feel like I'm in my feelings because it's important in a relationship for there to be wonderful things happening. We have to find ways to keep our relationship healthy and strong and moving forward. We can't just stand still and be stagnant. I mean, he's got to come up, he's got to do more.
Mr. Scott, can you assure Mrs. Scott that you're going to do more so you do not have to come in this courtroom and be placed on child support for a 17-year-old child?
I think her concern is it cannot solely be a burden for me. We have to work together.
I agree. I agree.
Yes.
You like that? I like that. That touched my heart.
I do love him.
Okay, and he loves you too. So, can I go ahead and dismiss this case and put people on child support that need to be on here?
Yes.
Thank you. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Recently I was demoted, and so I'm not making as much money, so trying to not pay as much money.
Okay. Is that the only, like, where were you working?
I'm still in the same job. I just got a worse part of the job. So I'm in sanitation.
Okay.
So basically I have to clean poop all day and make sure it doesn't get in the water, so whenever you're drinking, you don't have poop or hepatitis or anything like that in your water. I literally gotta sort it out, so when you get it, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't drink that.
No, you can. I made sure that there was no, it's good
Okay. All
because
right.
of me, yeah. But
Okay,
I
well,
get
thank
paid
you.
less now, so
I'll make sure when I drink water from now on to thank Mr. Boyd.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. How old is the child?
He's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-year-old boy. All right. So you have less pay now. Okay. And you're not in agreement to just decreasing his child support?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I feel like he's lacking on his duties as the father. He also has another child with another woman. So I really don't think he's budgeting his money or time well, and I'm not going to accept his reduction.
Okay. So you don't believe he's budgeting right?
No, I don't. I think he's spending all his money on his new fiance and shoes.
So you're mad about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty mad about it.
Okay. Well, get over it. That's the first thing. Second thing is you said he has another child. So even without a reduction in what he makes, that requires an adjustment right there. Him having another child entitles him to get his child support adjusted.
Well, maybe he should get his attitude adjusted. I don't know.
Well, can you quantify his attitude into any type of money or anything?
I wish he could.
Well, we can do that, right? So, I mean, by law, he has a right to ask for a reduction in child support. And by your own admission, you gave me a second reason why he qualifies for it.
I mean, I don't really understand because we almost make the same amount of money, so.
Right. But he's the one court ordered to pay child support, right? Right?
Right.
Okay, so your income has nothing to do with what he makes. And if he has another child, and according to these documents, he did get a huge reduction because his child support amount was $850 previously. So because he has a second child, that by itself, the law allows him to get a reduction in child support, whether you like it or not, unfortunately. What are you doing with the money, just out of curiosity?
I'm supporting Ricky, our child.
By support, what are you doing for him?
I practically pay for his private school.
Okay.
I'm buying him daycare when I leave for work.
Okay.
I pay for almost everything.
Okay, what are you using it for on yourself?
Nothing.
So you were using all $850 for the child only?
Yes.
Okay, because it sounded like it was for another reason why you're so upset. Or is it just because of the new girlfriend?
Could be both.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So this is what we're going to do. He has good reason, and he has shown proof to the court that he qualifies for his child support to be reduced. So we're going to go based off of what he currently makes. Says here on your W-2 you make about $41,000.
That's correct.
Okay. For one child, well, you have 2 kids.
I do.
Okay, so that changes. So what we're going to do is calculate that. So that brings your gross down to $3,287.67. Who pays health insurance?
He does.
How much is health insurance?
$129 a month.
Okay. He also gets a credit for that as well, for carrying health insurance. So his net comes out to about $2,725.36, giving you credit for your other child. That brings your percentage down, and your new child support amount is going to be $476.94. So I hope that you can pay the tuition and, you know, your attitude about him being mad off of that new amount in child support, $476.94. Can you do that?
Sure.
I mean, you don't have a choice really, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Anything further?
Nope.
Anything further from you?
No.
You seem disappointed.
I am disappointed.
Why? He has legal grounds to ask for that.
I just wish he would pay attention to our child more, that's all.
Okay. So what do you mean by that?
He doesn't like our child.
How do you know he doesn't like the
He
child?
straight out told me before we came here.
Maybe he doesn't like his behavior. What is it?
Yeah,
about the child?
he doesn't like football.
Oh,
And
okay.
And that really, if I didn't like football, my father would probably have disowned me. And so he doesn't like football, and I think she's trying to, get him into like other stuff, like, I don't know, cheerleading or something. I don't know. And it hits me right here.
Yeah. It hurts my feelings too because I love football. Maybe you should encourage that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything further? Okay. You all are dismissed.